A dangerously charming young man named Joe, who is extremely obsessed, is taking drastic steps to infiltrate himself into the lives of individuals he is enthralled by. You have enjoyed the series for 2 seasons. Season 3 is just about here. Yes, You Season 3 is here. Here is what you need to know. You Season 3 is here. If you're anything like me and can't wait for the highly anticipated upcoming season of You, you're probably wondering where the show will go from here on out. Season 2 came to a close with our deadly main character, Joe Goldberg, portrayed by Penn Badgley, on a bit of a cliffhanger, with his future heading in one direction and his fantasies, or obsessions, driving him in the opposite one. Season 3 of You has been given the green light by Netflix, so we know it will definitely happen. But filming for Season 3 has been delayed owing to the COVID-19 pandemic, which has caused widespread illness. However, we have a pretty good notion of what to expect, except from, stalking and cold-blooded murder, which we already know about. When can we expect to watch You Season 3? The premiere date for the 3rd season of Netflix's smash drama series You has been set for October 15th. You can see the announcement of the date in the trailer. Joe and Love's unborn child is shown in the latest teaser trailer. It depicts a pair of hands, which are most likely those of Love, preparing a cake for their newborn child. The hands are busy crushing eggshells and wiping drops of blood red icing off a knife, while Joe muses on the prospect of having a kid, stating at one point that the prospects of raising a boy like him was not without his challenges. At the end of the trailer, 2 revelations are made. First, that the new season will premiere in October, and second, that Joe and Love's son will be given the literary name Henry. A gender reveal has never been nearly so ominous as it is here today. The cast for Season 3. We already know that Penn Badgley and Victoria Pedretti will reprise their roles as Joe and Love in the You Season 3 cast. Aside from that, it's reasonable to predict that we'll be seeing a few familiar faces. This isn't surprising given the fact that Joe and Love migrated from Los Angeles to the suburbs following the events of the Season 2 finale, and they were bound to meet new people and enemies. So, who are these new neighbors, and what do they look like? For starters, Michaela McManus, The Vampire Diaries, will portray Natalie, the latest object of Joe's obsessive loves in the series. As for the rest of the cast, Shalita Grant, NCIS, will portray Sherry, a momfluencer who pretends to accept Love into her group, and Travis Van Winkle, Scorpion, will portray Carrie, a wealthy businessman who takes Joe into his inner circle. Shannon Chan Kent will portray Kiki, a devoted member of Sherry's cruel girl clique, and Christopher Sean will portray Kiki's husband, Brandon, in the film. During this time, Chris O'Shea portrays Andrew, a stay-at-home father and another member of Sherry's social circle. Brian Safi will portray his husband, Jackson, in the series. As Marion, Toddy Gabrielle, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, takes on the role of a no-nonsense, uptight librarian who keeps a close eye on what's going on in the neighborhood. Ben Mel, who previously appeared on The Good Wife, will portray her colleague, Dante, who is a lot more laid back. In addition to Theo, a college student named Dylan Arnold, who has a tough relationship with his stepfather and has a tendency to get involved in other people's affairs, there are several other members of this new community. In the show, Mackenzie Aston will portray Jill, a mild-mannered and good-hearted geology professor, while Ayelet Zurer will play Dr. Chandra, a couples therapy specialist. Both actors previously appeared on Homeland and Daredevil. The agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Jack Fisher will portray Joe as a child in flashback scenes. Scott Michael Foster, who previously appeared on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, will join the cast as Ryan, a television reporter who is well-liked in the town, but who also has his own secrets and a controlling, calculating demeanor that he reserves for those closest to him. You've got it all figured out, right? Season 3 plot. When Season 2 was launched, executive producer Sera Gamble informed Entertainment Weekly that she has big ideas for a 3rd season. The stakes are quite high here, so many concerns regarding Love's mother, who appears to be very much in the picture at the end of the season, such as how much she truly knows about her children, are left unanswered. Gamble expressed himself, "In writing the finale, we hoped that we would have the opportunity to tell more story since we are very thrilled about the seeds sown at the end of Season 2, says the writing team. If you're thinking that waiting for Season 3 will be impossible, you're in luck. Caroline Kepnes, the author of the novel Hidden Bodies, on which the film You is based, has published the 3rd book in the series, You, titled You Love Me, which is set in the same universe. Kepnes is also now writing a 4th novel, which could imply that a 4th season of the show is almost certain. The following is a synopsis for the 3rd book. Joe Goldberg has had enough of the big cities. He's had enough of the muck and the posers, and he's had enough of love. His new home in the Pacific Northwest is a tiny island where he can go back to nature and enjoy simple pleasures. He can finally take a deep breath for the first time in a long time. He obtains a job at the local library because he knows a thing or two about books, and it is there that he meets Mary Kay DeMarco for the first time. Librarian Joe will not interfere, and he will not obsess. He'll win her over the old-fashioned way by offering a shoulder to cry on and helping hand when she needs it. After some time has passed, they will both be able to recover from their injuries and begin their happily ever after in this tranquil village. To be sure, the second book and season were vastly different from the first two. Unlike the literature, Love does not turn into a crazy killer, but she does forgive Joe for his, misdeeds. Not to mention that Joe is currently imprisoned according to the records, so while You Love Me may not provide a clear plan for the third season, it will supply you with a murder fix until the Netflix series resumes its regular schedule. More details regarding the future plot and how the show's lead couple deals with the obstacles of being new parents were teased in an article published by Vulture in August 2021, which was released in August 2021. According to the synopsis, Joe is a golly gee young father living in a fictional Bay Area suburb populated by tech billionaires, anti-vaxxers, and mommy bloggers. Despite the fact that Joe's new wife, Love Quinn, Victoria Pedretti, is just as prepared to kill for love as he is, Joe's violent instincts remain unsatisfied. A recap of Season 2. We found our romance-obsessed protagonist Joe Goldberg moved to the West Coast and ready to start over in his version of hell, Los Angeles, in the second season of the hit show You. He changes his name to Will, takes a job at a vegan grocery store/book cafe, meets his journalist neighbor and her feisty sister, and appears to have put his violent tendencies behind him for the time being. That is, until Love, Victoria Pedretti, comes along. In the end, Joe emerges as the good guy, sort of, having finally admitted his mistakes and confining himself to his glass cage, until Love intervenes and takes matters into her own twisted hands. A police officer investigating the Quinn family comes across Candace and Delilah, Joe's ex-girlfriends and next-door neighbors, and she gaslights her brother, 40, till he's dead. She also tells Joe about her pregnancy, which causes him to feel stuck in Love's suburban fairy tale illusion. There are more books coming out. Season 1 of You was based on Caroline Kepnes' novel of the same name, while Season 2 is based on the sequel, Hidden Bodies, by the same author. As of right now, there are no more Joe Goldberg novels in the works, but that could change soon. Kepnes' Twitter bio, which is smartly written, claims, "Yes, I'm currently working on a third Joe novel, and then there's a fourth. No, I haven't finished yet, so keep an eye on everything." According to an interview with iNews, in September 2019, Joe decided to relocate to a small island in the third book. He relocates there for romantic reasons as well as for the greater good. However, he soon realizes that there are no murders since everyone is too codependent on one another. It was an exhilarating task to figure out how to kill people in a setting where there is such a high level of intimacy among the members of the group. That is what we know about Season 3. What do you think that we left out? Are you looking forward to the third season?